All right, we're live. Welcome to Be the Boss of Your Money. Thank you so much for joining me. The big story today is really all about oil. Let's get into it. We'll take a look at the market. The beat goes on, market goes up again. This rally is really lasting a long time. And we're going to roll a quick intro, and I'm going to be off in about 5 minutes. So please stick with me. I'm going to make this a good, quick show, and we'll have places to be. Here we go. All right. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mitch Goldberg. You're listening to or watching my live stream, Be the Boss of Your Money. And, another up day in the stock market. And it's almost getting to be, it's almost like getting to be routine, right? Another up day. Yeah, well, of course. It was up. It's like, let me go back to what I was doing. I'm kind of bored. But this is what we wanted, nice, steady uptrend. We had a huge week last week after months of losses and the major averages, back to back to back losses. Not only did the major averages make up for last month's losses, they made up for the losses for the month before that and the month before that. Microsoft, a bellwether name, hit a new year high today. Okay, on positive news and expectations about their artificial intelligence developments. And I don't want to say optimism is booming, but there is a steady feeling that maybe it's safe to buy stocks again. Maybe the Federal Reserve is almost done, if not completely done, with its rate hiking cycle. Now, I know one Fed governor, Kashkari, said that he could see the Fed raising rates a few more times, and we haven't done enough possibly to get to our 2% inflation target. But another Fed governor said he thinks that we've done enough. I think Austin Goolsbee. So that is, these are just the conflicting messages that we're going to get every day. One analyst says we are in for a big rally, which has already started for the end of the year. Another top Wall Street soothsayer says this is simply a bull market in an ongoing bear market. I could tell you this. In 2009, when the stock market finally bottomed out, the S&P 500, after dropping over 50%, in March of 2009, the major averages it was like a year and a half, 2 years of bloodletting in the stock market. By the way, you can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest into an index, or you could invest into a security that tracks or mimics an index. I should be able to say that in my sleep, right? But anyway, I remember when the Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq started climbing back up after bottoming in March of 2009. And slowly but surely, they kept going up, and analysts were coming out of the woodwork saying, we're not out of the woods yet. We still have a lot of damage done. The banks haven't written off all their bad loans. We haven't finished putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. And yet it turned out to be the greatest buying time probably ever. You're right. I said that, ever. So there's always going to be negativity or someone beating the bear drum. And they may very well be right now, but the conditions that knocked the market down, they're not there the way they were before. There's new conditions coming up. Corporate earnings for the third quarter earnings reports are almost done. Earnings have been pretty good. Revenues have been pretty good. We talked on the show about companies doing well, like DoorDash, stocks popping after earnings announcements. In particular, Shopify, which is the backbone of small business today, for any company that has a presence on the internet. And it's remarkable. The stock went up over 20% the evening of its earnings and revenue report, and it's held those gains and continued to climb. That shows you that the state of small business is probably a lot better than you think. Now, I know there are a lot of businesses out there that are suffering. Some businesses just aren't worth it anymore, and some are. But someone said to me, what about the businesses that they can't really get onto the internet, that don't have the foresight or the ability or the money to be on the internet? My answer is a little cold, a little calculated, but no problem saying it immediately. They don't deserve to survive. If a business isn't keeping up with the times, and if they're not keeping up with technology, they're not servicing their clients, their customers, the way their customers want to be serviced, well, that's a business that doesn't really have any business staying in business. That's what I say. But let's take a look at how the averages did today. Put myself up in the screen. Dow up 56, NASDAQ up 121. That's a pretty good day, up almost 1%. S&P up another 12 points. This is almost getting routine, like ho-hum. Every day the market's been going up last week and this week. We have a comment out there. Let's see who's in there. Wait, let me get my cursor over here. Renee, thanks for the news, Mitch. Hey, thank you very much, Renee, for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Renee and I recently became friends on Facebook, and if whatever platform you're watching me on, I'm on a couple of platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Client First Strategy on YouTube. And you can follow me there. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions about what we're talking about now, hit me up in the comments. But I'm going to make this quick. Gold continues to go lower. The big story of the day, which we'll dive into a little bit more, is oil down $3.69 a barrel, down 4.5% to 77. It's lower now than when the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel started. U.S. 10-year Treasury back down to the 4.5% range. The VIX hanging around in the low, around 14, 15 or so. Pretty calm market there. And interest rates continue to come down across the board. Yeah, the 3-month was up ever so slightly, but the rest of the interest rate curve is all coming down. See, the 2-year was over 5%. It's under 5%. I always like to say it when the 2-year yield, this one over here, when this is 5% or above, stocks sell off. I feel a sneeze coming on. That's the beauty of live streaming. Any one of these things can happen, like a sneeze on a live stream. And Renee, you're so nice, Renee. I'll get that sneeze. Doesn't stop. Can you imagine if I was on TV doing that? I love getting the LinkedIn notification when you're live. Perfect financial update in bite-sized chunks. Oh, yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here, too. So thank you. So interest rates down. We were getting pretty good yields, especially on the 10-year zero coupon bond, and for people who can put away money for 10 years. And if 5% is your bogey for your fixed income, that was a good place to do it, providing you didn't need the current income and the money over the next 10 years. If you need it, you could always sell the bond before then. You just take the risk of maybe losing money before maturity. Let's take a look at the really big news, and I'll let you go. U.S. crude oil prices fall below $78 a barrel to the lowest level since July. That's pretty significant. I always like to find the big news of the day concisely, clearly, and give it to you straight. Even with production cuts by the Saudis and by Russia, although I think Russia's production cuts aren't really a matter of choice. I think it's just that oil fields there are freezing over. It's hard to unfreeze these things. It's basically you have to drill a whole new oil well once an oil well freezes in Russia. And they don't have the equipment anymore to replace parts and to repair things and do proper maintenance in their oil fields. So, that is hurting them. But Saudis cut production voluntarily. Oil went up a little bit, but now it's coming down. So the production cuts aren't working. Why? A couple of reasons. And that is mostly because China's exports have been down like the last 6 months in a row. Not like, they have been down for 6 months in a row. Chinese economy is not doing so great. And that is causing the price of oil to drop. So it's really a matter of demand, and the supply cuts that the Saudis and the Russians thought would prop up the energy market just aren't working. And more power to us, and they could shove it. So there you go. Anyway, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. I'm going to get going. We'll see how oil does over the next couple of weeks. We don't have too much time left in this year, and I want to talk to you about your goals for next year, your New Year's resolutions, and how to really make a New Year's resolution stick. I think that would be very helpful. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.